Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, like
I know him, but now I don't even like him. Talk like yeah, a little bit.
I'm not even gonna lie, that's how I felt about men. Like I was like, first of all, can I date younger than me? And then I was like, right before my boyfriend asked me out, I was about to give up on men my own age. I was dating some dude in his 30s, and I was like, I think this is where it's at. I think this is where I should be.
But see, it's weird when dudes date younger, because when dudes date younger, I feel like one, they want like a trophy type deal. Like, yeah, I can still get them. But then, because I look at it as like, as an older man, what could this young girl really instill in you? Whereas vice versa, me being younger and my lady being older, she can tell me old school game. Because, you know, women are more nurturing and teaching anyway. So it's like, she can tell me old school game. Not to mention, when you're dealing with somebody older, odds are they, well, older women-wise, odds are she probably already has her own stuff established, got her own thing going on. Women in our bracket, especially with me making the money I do, doing the things I do, seeing the people having the lifestyle I live, a lot of women just want to be along for the ride or, you know, flex my accomplishments. And we've seen that, like Alexis, you've seen when I was dating, and I'm not going to say her name, when I was dating, what's her name? And it was like, when we were in school, you didn't give me the time of day. But once I got a little paper in my pocket and I get like Buckhead condo.
Like, hey, daddy.
Yeah.
Nah, and that's something that, I mean, recently, like, I'm in the process of getting over currently. Like, I fell in love with this one girl, this one young lady. She is about 24. I'm 22. I turned 23 soon. Fell in love with her. And I was stuck, like, why am I feeling shawty on this level? Like, what is this? Why does this keep bothering me? And I'll date. I just wouldn't be satisfied. And
this was an older chick or the younger chick?
Oh, older. And I might have told you about it, like, when we was in the store, but I told myself, like, last night I prayed and I just told myself, like, that God has better. And I just gotta believe it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want to get there. And then she like, man, that's some fake shit. Like, don't, like, you was not fucking with me. So when I'm elevated, how is it supposed to be real love? You see what I'm saying? How is it supposed to be real love if you don't value like who I am now? Like, that's crazy to me.
No, I feel that. Like, I always feel like back when I was dating, there were some people where it's like we would break up and then they would go and they would be like more into their career, getting more money, doing more stuff, and they come back and be like, oh, look at me now, I got my own place, I got my own car, I'm doing this, that, the other thing. And I'm like, I broke up with you because I didn't like you. I really don't care what you have. Like, I've always like stood strong on that. If I'm not going to be with you, it's about who you are as a person, like your character. It's not about like your money, what you have. I prefer to be with like a man who's either established or has a plan and ambition, like,
or like you just said, I want to be with somebody I actually like.
Exactly. Like,
I want to actually like. Whereas with me, that reason why I feel like I like older women is because they have no choice but to actually like you, because like I wouldn't have to worry about, oh, you with me for the money and the, you know, the car, because odds are if she's older than me, she has that already. Like like dealing with the lady I talked to, she has her own place. She has her own place, had her own job, had everything. And it's like, why would I, like, in her eyes, she's like, why would I be chasing your money and I got my own money? Why would I be chasing my own thing? I got my own thing going on. But you know what?
You know how you, like, guys don't want a girl, like how you said, like the girl was like kind of money hungry or whatever. But like, I look for a guy that has money, but has his own. But it's not because he's balling, let me get some, buy me gifts. Like, it's not like that. It's more like, it's more like if he has it for himself and I got it for myself, like when we come together, we're like, boom, we're a big package deal. You know what I'm saying?
Even in that, the key is you still have it for yourself. That's the big key.
Yeah.
Or at least have plans.
I don't want nobody that don't have it. I'm sorry. I'm not building you. I'm not coming to, that sounds so wrong, but like, I'm not trying to like build you into the guy I want. You know what I'm saying?
Like you're not trying to build a bear boyfriend. Like it's not.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Like we can grow and learn from each other as we go on, but I shouldn't have to like just deal with anybody or something like that.
But you know, this is a good place to get started because we in after party talk during the show.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. This is another edition of LUXE Argue presented by MLP Studios. I know. I always say that we do this every single week. I've been going through some things. Okay, everybody on the screen knows what I've been going through. Everybody that really follows me knows what I've been going through, and I appreciate all the support in my transition. You know, I'm transitioning from Atlanta, Las Vegas, launching my own company, et cetera, et cetera. But we got a great episode in store today with the members of the LuxeMob. We might be getting one more person to pop in at some point, but as of right now, I'm going to introduce our guest from my left to right, starting with, she's been on, like, this is your 4th episode, isn't it, Cheyenne?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is episode 4. She's a proud member of the LuxeMob, one of my closest friends, Miss Cheyenne.
Hello.
Next, we got a newcomer to the game, my boy Jamie. Jamie, I've known him, since you were a sophomore in college? Junior, sophomore?
Yeah.
One amazing designer. Make sure you follow his work, Godflow.
Godflow 44, and my personal account is Faith Slide.
You got real muted in there, but I'm gonna link all the Instagram links in the description. Really good dude. And then last but certainly not least, one of my closest friends from college. She's representing Clark, Atlanta right now. Alexis, this is your first time on the show, right? Because you work with MLP Studio plenty of times though.
Yeah, definitely. We've been in here.
Yeah. So this is incredible LuxeMob. As of right now, like I said, we're gonna get one more person. We may get one more person in as we go through. But LUXE Argue is a Zoom-based debate show podcast where we debate 3 topics in 3 categories. First is general culture, second is food and drinks, and then the last is the adult section. During the adult section, we're gonna get a little disclaimer. It's gonna go like right here. That's gonna say, viewer discretion is advised. That's when things get a little bit more vulgar. Cursing is allowed at that point. There's going to be a lot of sex talk, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are underage or don't want to hear that type of stuff, then that's when you check out. But we're going to get started immediately with this first topic because we've been, talking for a little bit. First topic is with general culture. Which one is better, movie night or game night?
I would say game night because I'm kind of competitive. So like it'll go back and forth, and then you can get to know somebody. You guys can talk over the games and stuff. Like movies don't talk to me in a movie. I want to watch the movie.
I can only watch one movie and then I'm movied out.
It's funny because I was thinking about this question because they both serve 2 different purposes. Like to me, a movie night is cool for like one person or like a 2-person intimate setting. Game night is for group. Like to have a successful game night, you got to have at least 6 or 7 people. Yeah. To have a successful movie night, it could be one other person.
I mean, they have like couples games. Like I've had game night with my boyfriend before. It's a more like, again, it's an intimate setting, but it's still games.
No. Cards, I feel like the negative to a movie night is it's kind of quiet. Like you don't want to talk.
I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't want you to talk because if you talk, I'm gonna be like, shh, shut up. Like, let me watch the movie. I might miss something. I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, like it's cool to like watch a movie or like shows with somebody. Like, are we talking in a date aspect or just the concepts in general?
I think let's use just the concept in general, so we're not limiting it to date. Because I think that if we do a date, if we do it in like a dating capacity, I feel like it would probably sway more to movie night, just because that's more of like a one-on-one intimate type of thing. So let's just look at it as like just a general, like, you know, friends, group friends type situation.
So
Yeah, in general, I prefer games.
What do you guys say, Jamie?
no, you can go ahead.
What is with your sound?
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I prefer games. Like, if I'm with a group of friends, I feel like games is like more fun. It's more energetic. We're doing more. We're talking more. We're like more involved. Whereas movie night, like somebody's gonna fall asleep. Somebody's gonna be like, "All right, y'all, I'm going home." Like, it's not as exciting.
Right, I agree.
Saying for in general, I would choose a movie night because I like being like alone with myself, and but more so if it was a group setting, if I like had friends involved, I'll choose a game night.
Well, you know what? I think another variable is it depends on what game and what movie is being watched or played.
Facts.
Because if we watching like you a cool, like if like Valentine's Day is coming up, so if you did like a Valentine's Day movie night, y'all watching Love Jones and all that stuff, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty dope. But if you just watching just movies that you be watching all the time and everybody just at the house, it's like,
Yeah.
And then, but then also when it comes to like games and stuff, it's like, I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten to the point where it's like drinking games. It's kind of like the adult games is the real games now.
I have drinking Jenga.
What's that?
Basically, like, you know, Jenga, like you pull the pieces out. When you pull a piece out, you have to drink as much as on the piece.
See, I played that.
One game. Like one game.
That whole version, like someone had Jenga and then they wrote like take a shot, 2 shots, and then they did truth or dare. Like they just mixed it all in one. So we just put it up, and every time you pulled one out, you had to do the dare or drink or whatever.
Yeah, you can write on some of them too, which I think is dope. I might actually do that with the customizable squares. Just write truth or dare. So like, some of them are drinking and some of them are truth or dare. Yeah, I'm about to. Where are my friends? I need to figure this out because I'm excited.
I feel like with the drinking, but the sad part about drinking games is it becomes less about the game than it does about the drinking at that point.
True, because everybody gets messed up real quick.
But I think that's what makes game nights more fun though, because when it comes to movie nights, it's kind of you're watching a movie. Like you're not really supposed to talk too much. If you do, cool. But with a game night, it's free for all. Just pure adult fun.
Yes, and like the fun of game night is that like sometimes competition is really good. You know, like you end up like building a great vibe or a great connection with someone by being like competitive. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes game nights are it. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever had a game like, okay, let me ask y'all this. Game night. What's your go-to game for a game night?
Uno.
Cards of Humanity.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. That's a good one.
It's a fun one.
Is that the same? That's not the same one as charades, is it?
No.
I was thinking charades.
Y'all is nice because my game nights, when I'm being nice, like, you know, it's PG, spades, and Uno.
Okay.
And it has to be Uno flip, not the regular Uno, house rules. But if it's like grown folks, we're playing Never Have I Ever.
Oh,
that's a fact.
Never Have I Ever and Would You Rather.
those are really good.
Those
are good, but they get boring. It gets boring.
It gets boring when you have the same group. But the suck part about those games is you got to change up the friends for that. Because if you got the same friends.
It's only fun when you got new people in the group and y'all trying to be messy, trying to find out, like, would you rather? Or that's when it gets fun.
Have y'all heard of Skin Deep?
Skin Deep.
Skin Deep. And it's like a card game. You can ask your partner or you can ask your friends. And it has like these really like deep introspective like questions.
I'm buying it. Where's Amazon?
That's dope.
Go on skindeep.com.
Oh, it's not on Amazon? Oh, that's probably
on Amazon too.
Oh, I ain't
yeah, it should be on. It's hard though.
Talking about cards like that, there's a card that I seen.
The Real Strangers or something like that.
It's something with couples though. They're real deep questions.
Yeah, that's it.
And it was created by, I don't know, I think it was a African American, but you guys will like, one question will be a good like date night question for like a couple, and it gets like real deep.
Wow, that might be the Real Strangers or something like that.
I don't know the name, but I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. I would have bought it if I was in a relationship.
Yeah, see, all I have is like adult truth or dare, and like I can't keep playing that. I need.
Bro, I got so many adult games. Hold on.
By the time you're done playing adult truth or dare, you know all the answers. That's the same thing with not Cards of Humanity, but we have.
What is Cards of Humanity?
Cards of Humanity is like a sentence. They'll give you a sentence, and the other cards will be the end of the sentence. So everyone in the circle has a certain amount of cards. So you'll read your card, and whatever one fits the sentence, you'll put that in the sentence. If that makes sense.
Oh, it's like, so you just fill the empty space. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like this person wins, or the one that makes the most sense.
This man with the.
Bro, I really got all the games, bro. I got Sick and Twisted Charades. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Obviously, got to have Never Have I Ever.
Wow.
Oh, you got a card game and Never Have I Ever.
Some of them kind of suck, but then some of them are like, wow. This one right here is really fun. 5-second rule.
What's that about?
It's basically like, okay, you got 5 seconds. It's like somebody spits out. Let me pull out one. So it would be like it's sets 3, like name 3 turn-ons, and you got 5 seconds to answer.
Oh,
that's dope.
Heck of dope. Super dope. You know, you can see where people's minds are like immediately. The voting game. This is how you figure out who's your real friends.
I'm good.
Let me write this down.
This one too.
I have the little notes.
Who's most likely to? Like, I got all the dope friend game.
That's fire, bro.
Oh, y'all want to hear something funny?
Yes.
So y'all know the YouTuber Trey Melvin, right?
Yeah.
So he had a small Zoom New Year's party, and I was in it, and we all played Never Have I Ever. And why did I get out before him? I was highly upset.
That means you did a lot of stuff.
He was still sitting there with 2 fingers, like, and I was like, did I just lose to Trey Melvin?
Wow.
Bro, funniest story, then we're going to put it to a vote. So, freshman year in college, me, Darrell, Shantae, like the family, we having a game night at Shantae's house. Now, we got a couple other dudes there. One of the dudes, we didn't even know this man. He just, he was one of the dudes that we did know, their friend. Now, obviously, we do Never Have Ever, college students, we're drinking. But we only had so many cups. So some people start using bowls, some people start using, for their shot glass or whatever. We get to this one question, and it's never have I ever ate butt. Now, everybody else, we just sitting there like, nah. It was just kind of like one of them questions you throw out just because you didn't have nothing to say. This man put his whole lips on the bottle. Mind you, he didn't put in on this bottle. He just decided, yep, I have.
I'm screaming.
And we like, bro, like,
like that?
We was more mad because it's like, we didn't want to play no more. Because as we were going, we was like, pour our drink. This man put his whole mouth on a drink saying he eat butt.
Wow, that's very interesting. But, I don't know these women, but some women like that. So
that's not what's up. All right, y'all. So let's put it in the vote. Let's put it to a vote so we move on to the next topic. Game night or movie night? Start with Cheyenne.
Game night.
And why?
More fun, more involved, less sleepy.
Okay. Jamie?
I'm going to change my answer to game night.
Finally.
Yeah, I'm changing mine to game night too.
Yeah, come on to the good side because y'all know game night is where it's at. See, me and Cheyenne did not change our answer at all.
Well, like I said, movie night serves a purpose because it's a little bit more freaky. But game night is just overall pure unadulterated fun.
Game night freaky.
But you made it. You said it wasn't like a one-on-one date night thing. So
I was gonna say that
I don't know what movie we watching now as a group is getting freaky. So
yeah,
that's why I'm changing my answer, because like for as far as a group setting, movie night really doesn't.
You're not there to actually watch the movie.
Right, movies don't get finished.
Movies watching you at some point.
Oh, they do not, huh?
Movies be watching you.
When I watch movies, they get finished. That's why that's not the right date for me.
If it's a good movie, I'll just watch it later.
That's a fact.
Y'all, before we move on to the next topic.
Wait, hold on. I have to clear this up. Are we talking about like movies in like at home or like movies in like the theaters?
Well, movie night, so at home, not like
both.
He said both. It don't matter.
Y'all, I remember in college, I forgot what year it was at one point. It was during my wilding stage. I remember it was like a Netflix and chill type situation. And we put on this movie. It's still on Netflix, I think. It's like A Star is Born or something like that.
Yes.
And the movie was so good. I forgot all about the mission. I mean, I watched this movie with so much intent. I was invested in this movie.
I still need to watch that.
Amazing movie.
You picked the movie because you thought it was gonna be whack, and then you were interested into
it. It's like a romance, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's why he picked it.
It was like a romance, like okay, it's number one, and then yeah.
So like she'll like this.
Did she fall asleep?
Huh?
Did she fall asleep?
No, she was waiting for me to make a move, like the whole. And I'm over here like, stop.
I can already read her mind.
I'm over here like, stop.
And just have me come over here watching a stupid movie. Like,
yeah, that's how
I was so lame at that point. I felt lame. When the credits started to roll, I was like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Like, I was like, you want to watch another movie? Let's put something else on. Because I was trying to. Like,
Let me try again.
Now she want to go home.
And the thing is,
talk about the movie. I got you this time. I promise.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I feel women always wait for you to make the move because you're the man, and
it's just more attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's kind of weird to make moves like that during a game night. Because if you make a move like that at a game night, like if you play Never Have I Ever and she gives a response, and then are you like? Sometimes game night is how you figure out who the host.
I'm dead. No, like if like one time my boyfriend and I were playing the adult truth or dare, and we had to skip dares because we were like, if we do this dare, we're not finishing this game. So let's put that away and keep playing.
That's a lot. All right, y'all. So let's get into this next topic. Next topic is, what is the best hot sauce?
Damn, I meant to research for this one.
I don't know. My favorite is the Louisiana one.
You're a real one.
That's my favorite.
Louisiana got the most flavor, bro.
That's the one I like.
That's true about anything out of Louisiana. Like,
nah, Louisiana be having some BS
red
food.
hot type of person, but nah, the Louisiana one is bomb.
I also feel like it's like it depends on where you from, because I know like in the South, a lot of people like Texas Pete. I knew nothing about Texas Pete until I got to Atlanta.
Yep.
Who likes Tapatio?
Hispanics.
Okay.
Tapatios is only good for Mexican food, though.
That's
the green one.
What about that?
When have you ever really used Tapatios on like your noodles or like for some chicken wings?
They also got sriracha. My mama loves herself some sriracha.
Mm-mm.
Sriracha is only good for Asian food.
Nah, she puts sriracha on everything.
Yeah, I know someone that likes sriracha too.
I don't know why I don't consider Tabasco a hot sauce. It's more like a seasoning. Like, it's not.
Well, I use Louisiana as my seasoning. Like, I'll cook my chicken. Like, when I'm seasoning my chicken in my marinade, I use Louisiana hot sauce in the marinade.
Use Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, fire.
I was just about to say that I used the Frank's Red Hot and I mix it with, well, on the side I had a ranch and I have it cold. You did what I'm saying for like the lemon pepper sprinkles. You feel what I'm saying? That's normally hot.
Frank's Red, I like Frank. I used to love Frank's Red Hot until I realized it lacks flavor.
It's just hot.
Yeah, it's like a weird.
I hate
Like
stuff
the
that's
Louisiana one has a spice to it.
Do y'all watch that show on YouTube with the hot sauce reviews with like the celebrities?
Like it's like the
Oh, when they take like the chicken wings.
Where is it?
Hot?
Hot ones. Hot ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they eat the
You
chicken
like
wings.
the Idris Elba meme where he's just like,
Who?
No lie. I think I could get to like the second one maybe, and then I'll be out.
Mm.
oh no,
I feel like after a certain point, your tongue gets numb.
it does, and that's when you keep going.
Yeah, you just now you don't even taste the heat or flavor anymore.
I could not keep going.
Yeah, I keep going. I'd be like, the hotter the better. I need my lips to hurt for the rest of the day. Like,
When it's a burn?
that's how I know it was good.
Mm-mm.
I remember I tried to do the not even a challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings because I told them I really like hot wings, and I got not even the top level hot, the one below it, and it was so hot. I was like, who orders this? Like, why is it a challenge for me to eat my food?
It should never be a challenge.
Yeah, like why is it so hot?
It's doing too much.
Like that's why I like Louisiana because it's hot, but it's like it's still got a little flavor on it. It ain't gonna ever be too hot. You mix it with some butter, get you a nice little what you call it?
Yeah.
Like some wing sauce. Red Hot. I mean Frank's Red Hot really does. It's just
Have y'all been to New Orleans before? Have y'all been to Mardi Gras before?
Yes, that was actually the last time I saw Cheyenne.
That's
Wow. Okay. Did y'all go to this recent one? Like not before?
No, it was Bayou Classic.
Got you. Okay.
You know what's so crazy? So I've never been, and I was gonna go the year COVID started. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until next year because I was going on another trip, so I didn't want to do a trip back to back. So I'm like, you know what? Let's wait on Louisiana. Now it will never be.
Crazy is I went this, I guess last year, and 2 weeks after I got back, CNN started talking about this COVID thing.
you're like COVID.
Which is hilarious. I be trying to tell people COVID to everybody is like, oh, COVID is 2020. All that. Me being in the fashion industry, I was paying attention to COVID in like October of 2019. Because remember, that's when cases first started hitting. I was kind of like, I feel like this is gonna be
about
bad.
it till March. Like,
Yeah, I'm about to say, Sony didn't even find out about it until March. I was looking at it in like October.
I was partying. I was at dinner. I was like, what you mean? Like,
Wow.
You think that Mardi Gras and all like the big events that happen are going to ever be like, how long do you think it's going to be for it to get back to like the normal?
2024.
2 years.
I think
You know what? You know what? People are stubborn. So 4 years. People ain't going in the house. You know, people aren't going in the house, and
Especially since they got
But wouldn't that make it go faster though? Like when I'm thinking like maybe not this year, but I think like 2022, like in the June area, that's when like everything's gonna just be like wide open.
if Biden puts in a shutdown, we need a lockdown. As much as people, we need a lockdown. Like if we had a 2 to 4 month lockdown, like everybody just in the house like before. I know you don't like it.
That's a lot.
If we had that,
You gotta understand, I'm in Massachusetts, so when was it? I had to stop going to work in March, and from March I was in the house every single day, didn't even go anywhere, barely even went to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if you went to the grocery store, there was nothing in the grocery store, no toilet paper, no nothing. You couldn't even get no damn groceries. So like to be on another lockdown, I will go.
we need it though.
I think a month.
But I
we need it though.
1 month. 1 month.
I think with vaccine, 1 month. No, with vaccine,
one.
1 month.
You get one before I crack up.
If you know what, if I was Joe Biden, I would be like, "Hey, United States, we're on a mandatory lockdown for a month." During that month, no, look. During that month,
like in the Bible, 44 days.
No, 1 month because peep game. During that month, that's when we're administering vaccines.
A fast.
The vaccine isn't even a vaccine. Vaccines don't get released this fast. This is literally like a mass clinical trial. It's not a vaccine.
I was on.
I'm not taking it.
I was on Instagram.
They want to see what's gonna happen. They be like, "Let me just stick you with some stuff and see what happens."
I was on Instagram or I was listening to another podcast, and this girl was on. I mean, this young lady. She was on a plane, and this guy got on the plane and he took a nap in his seat, and he didn't wake up. And they said because he had COVID. But she would just walk off. Yeah, she just walked off the plane.
I mean, COVID reacts different to different people. Because I know, remember, I was in the hospital for 2-3 weeks. So
yeah, brother, you all right now?
I mean, that was in November, but yeah. I mean, yeah. So
but can you hear me?
4 months ago. Yeah.
Okay, because my thing wasn't turning green. I had COVID too, but my COVID experience and his COVID experience was so different.
I was pissed. Not to say I was jealous, but it was one of them times like when somebody, it's like, I don't know if you guys ever did shrooms before or like acid and stuff. And I always hear people tell stories of like how one person in their group goes on acid trips and drugs, like, and it'd be totally different. And there is like the worst case scenario. I was looking at it. Alexis was like, "Oh yeah, I just lost my taste and I'm back. I'm back 100% in like 4 days."
No,
I was gonna die for 3 weeks.
He had to go to the hospital and stuff like that. Like for me, it was just like a regular like winter cold type of thing. But I had symptoms that I never had before, and it was over in 3 days. Like, and then after a while, I was getting better and better every day.
Well, the first time I smoked, I was on the 3rd or 4th floor, and I was able to hear the communication between the insects inside of the ground.
Nigga, what were you
What
smoking?
type of drugs did you do?
What were you smoking?
You weren't smoking weed. You was on drugs. You were doing drugs.
I know weed.
You were on drugs.
Yeah, you were doing drugs.
We all have our experiences.
No, you had.
Yeah, no.
You smoked some weed and you could hear the bugs talking.
Somebody put shrooms in your weed, bro. Like
it was at Savannah State.
Yeah, it's probably late.
Yeah, somebody laced you.
Which is sad because that's
telling that story. That's not weed.
We're telling us. Hey y'all, so I forgot the topic and
hot sauce.
Okay, yeah. Hot sauce. All right, so let's put it to a vote. So what's the best hot sauce?
Louisiana hot.
Louisiana.
Jamie? I already said mine. Louisiana.
The hot sauce I said earlier.
Red hot?
Yes, sure.
Ugh.
Sure.
I will say this before we move on to the last topic. Worst hot sauce, Crystals.
Crystals?
I don't know what that is.
The one that's like a white label and it looks. Hold on.
I thought you talking about hot sauce that comes from actual crystals.
Oh no.
I'm like, who's Crystal? Why she making hot sauce?
Why she making hot sauce?
I never heard of that one before.
Yeah.
You've seen it, but I'm telling you, it's the worst.
I bet you I haven't.
Probably why we've never heard of it.
Is this like a West Coast thing?
It's a no coast thing.
No coast.
Okay.
No coast.
It's like it's literally, and I know you guys have seen it. Hold on, I'm about to screen share.
Where are y'all? While he's looking, where are y'all from?
I'm from New York. I'm in New York.
Okay.
This one.
I'm from Boston.
Okay.
I'm in Boston.
I've
I ain't never seen that before.
Bro, it's the worst. It's like water.
It looks like water. It looks like red water.
Yeah, I've never seen that. All right, what's the next?
All right, so let's get into this last topic. Last topic of the day is, before we get to the last topic, this is the adult section of LUXE Argue presented by MLP Studios. You're going to see a notice going right here. Viewer discretion is advised. If you do not like cursing, vulgar language, talking about sex, etc., etc., click off now. If you're very holy, spiritual, this is also time for you to click off now because everybody here is grown. We're all college educated. We're actually all college graduates, so we can say and do what we want. Last topic of the day is sex a love language? Now, before we get into it, I want to refresh everybody's memory on the 5 official love languages. We have words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, quality time, and acts of service. Those are the 5 official love languages. I personally believe that sex should be its own love language.
No.
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 But here's why. Hear me out. Here's why. I believe that sex is a combination of physical touch, physical touch and quality time.
Words of affirmation.
Words too. Words too.
I mean, it's a combination of all of them. However, it's the only one that could stand, like, since it encompasses all of them, it could also stand alone on its own.
I disagree. I think it falls under physical touch.
Me too. I think it's that simple.
Because there's a difference between somebody that's just like, oh, I'm horny today, like, let's have sex. And then there's somebody that actively needs sex in their relationship. So I think that need for, like, that physical pleasure falls under physical touch. It's like I always tell my boyfriend, I'm like, listen, like, sex is kind of how I show love. I don't necessarily need to be horny to do it. It's kind of just like, I'm really loving you today. And it kind of just leads into that. Like, it's an act of love for me. It has nothing to do with, like, just hormones or chemical reaction or whatever. So I think it falls under physical touch for me. Because the same way I could just, like, be playing with his hair, cuddle with him, just touch him. Like, that's just the way that I show love.
Well, I mean, using what you just said, I feel like that's another reason why I feel like sex should be its own love language. Because we got to remember, the love language is not always, it's two-pronged. It's how you receive love, but it's also how you give love. And I know, like, someone like me and a couple other people I've spoken to, like you just said, sex is how you show love. Like, that is your affection. You aren't doing, the whole, like, you do obviously do, like you said, rubbing through hair, hugs, quality time, gifts, all that. But the act of sex is how you show your affection. That's like the ultimate way of, I really care for you. So I feel like for that reason, it should have, like, it should be its own standalone category, because I could give you, like, I could be heavy on, like, this sex is how I show and how I like to receive love, but I also don't like being touched.
Well, here's why I'll partially agree with you, just partially, because you don't need to touch to be sexual. You can, like, send each other pictures, messages. You can talk to each other in a certain way. Like, you don't actually need to be touching the person to be sexual.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
But I understand where you're coming from too. Like, sex can be, like, a big factor for you, but you might not want to be touched. I get that too.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there that don't really care about the sex part. But they might love the physical touch part, like, just hug me.
That part.
Just hold me. Just hold my hands. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, no, you're good. That's why I'm, like, on the fence. I'm like, I think I get what you're saying, why you want it to be, but I still think it's part of physical touch.
Yeah, I think physical touch relates heavily to intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the connection. It's like physical touch is like you perfectly transferring your emotions to another person.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Now that can lead to sex, but like you said, like it can just be like touching somebody's hair or like holding somebody's hand.
But taking into account what Alexis just said too, there's some people that's kind of like you said, there's a people that's like sex isn't a priority to them at all. However, weird. Their love language is physical touch, and I want, give me a hug. I want a kiss. I want, hold my hand. That's like, there's people like that.
I've heard people actually say that, like when they're talking about their love languages, they'll say physical touch is a love language, and then someone will be like, oh, so you like sex? And they'd be like, nah, it's not really about the sex for me. It's more about just like non-sexual acts of touching. Like I just need to be
and for that reason, that's why I feel like it should be its own category.
I see. I kind of see what you're saying.
Am I making sense? Not like
I get where you're coming from. I do, but I feel like deep down it comes down to it. No matter like what type of touch will lead on to the sexual activity. So that's why I'm like, it goes with touch. That's how I see it.
For everybody, like some people can like be touching and just not be sexual. Like there's some people where it's like there's someone where you can like kiss on their neck and they're immediately turned on. There's somebody else you kiss on their neck and now they're ticklish and like, get off me. Like everybody responds differently to different forms of touch, different forms of stimulation.
I agree.
I agree.
I was about to say I was giving this pause, so I've interrupted Jamie like 3 times.
But yeah, I feel like if I was on a date and I told the young lady that is in front of me, she said, Jamie, what is your love language? I say sex. And she asks, are you a sex addict? And I think that's the response that would come.
I can see that argument.
Like, and then she, you know how like sometimes women be like, oh, you just want to have sex. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think like what's important is like women want the intimacy aspect as well. It's not just about fucking. So I love physical touch. Physical touch and words of affirmation are the same level for me in my love language. So
I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I see how it could come off as weird, but then it's also weird. Like if I ask somebody what their love language is and they say gifts, that's equivalent to me saying, oh, so you must be like a gold digger or you must be like a user.
You can spin it.
Yeah, like you can spin all of them or like, quality time. Yeah, I don't need quality time. Oh, that means you're clingy.
You just want me to do stuff for you. Like,
yeah, you need acts of service. You're a servant. So it's kind of like you can attach your own, stereotypes to each one of the love languages. Yeah. I believe that sex, really, if somebody says their love language is sex, that really kind of lets people know it's the most direct love language. If you make it like a 6th love language, it's the most direct one that okay, this is priority in order for me to give and receive affection.
But then it looks bad though, because if you're on a date and you're like, yeah, my love language is sex, I'm like, damn, so that's all you care about? You don't care about being loved, you don't care about the touch, you don't care about nothing.
Open your mind. Yeah. See, that's the problem. Majority of society is very like, they think that way. Like if somebody says I show love or I prefer to receive love through sex, they'd be like, oh, so you just horned up all the time and you just trying to do me. Like it's not like that. Like it's somebody expressing the way that they love. And yes, there are some people where it's like, yeah, they're just trying to do you and you need to be careful of those people. But if somebody expresses like, this is the way that I love, this is how I like to be loved, like sex can be considered in that form. But a lot of us will immediately jump out the window and be like, nah, I can't mess with you because you do this all the time and I can't do all that. And that kind of also goes into you have to find the person that's right for you. Like not everybody is trying to have sex all the time and they're just like, and you may feel sexually deprived or that may lead you to feel unloved because your partner is not having sex with you. And it's hard to communicate that.
Story of my life.
Some people be like, sex isn't that important. I still love you. You should know that I still love you. Where somebody else may be like, translates into love for me. And if you don't want to have sex with me, that makes me feel like you don't love me. And that's a real feeling for some people. And we have to be open-minded to understand that.
Yeah, and then with that open-mindedness, going back to what you said, Alexis, saying like, oh, sex is just the utmost important. That's all you want to do. Because if they add sex as the 6th love language, it would be my number 1, like my top. But that does not equal that I want to have sex with every female. Because there's been females that would want to have sex with me. There's currently females that I talk to that want to have sex with me. And I'm like, nah. Because I don't have that level of, like you said, affectionate intimacy towards them.
Right.
As a man, I know this is rare and y'all gonna take it how y'all take it. I cannot have sex without love and connection.
I mean, that's not weird. That's really what it's supposed to be.
It makes me feel like I feel really cold.
Exactly.
I feel like
when there's no connection.
I feel really cold, and then like since I'm very spiritual, it doesn't feel right. It really doesn't feel right. And my boys would be like, bro, like, do you know what I'm saying? You young, and I just look at them and just be like, like,
that's just not for me.
This is the space that I'm in, and I have to like honor that. It'd be hard, It'd be hard because
like you still want to have sex, you just haven't found the person that will like satisfy you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of move the same way. The difference with me is I don't need to be like in love romantically with you, but we need to have a bond, a friendship,
some type of connection.
Exactly. I need to know that like at the end of this, we didn't just have sex to like have an orgasm and move on with our lives. Like we actually have a relationship, whether it be like platonic or romantic, whatever it be. We have to have some kind of connection for me to enjoy it. Because if we're just having sex to have sex, I'm not going to enjoy it whatsoever. I don't want to be here. I feel gross. I'm like, honestly, don't touch me. Get out of my space. Like, I don't even know you like that. Like, I don't like it. But there has to be some kind of connection on some level. Like, I have to care about you as a person and know that you care about me as well.
Which is always weird to me when people tell me stories about like one night stands and stuff. And I'd be like, don't get me wrong. I've had one or two, but even like what Jamie said, it felt like weird. It felt cold because it's kind of like,
I can do that by myself at home. Like, I don't need to go find a stranger to
yeah,
it's a happy meal. You used me. You didn't nurture me. You know what I'm saying? I want like sex and making love. I want it to feel nurturing.
Yeah, you basically masturbated with my body. That's great.
I was just about to say that. I was like, you basically just not use me you ain't about to use me like a dildo. I'm
in that case, like
a human dildo at this point.
I like intimacy to feel like nurturing, even like without sex. Like I want it to feel nurturing, and that's why like my romantic encounters are rare, because that's like a principle and a value of mine. And the times when I've tried to like cut it, times when I tried to like cheat that, it didn't go right.
But right there, so couldn't you make that like using that argument? Can it be used that's why sex should be its own love language? Because all the 5 love language involve a level of intimacy, whereas sex is a form of intimacy. So to leave it off the list or to group it with something else, it's kind of unfair because it in a way devalues sex or the other love languages. Like what Alexis said, you could love physical touch but not like sex. So to put sex in, like group it in with physical touch, it's kind of like it's devaluing the physical touch aspect of, their love languages. Go ahead.
I got something for that. So where's the affirmation? That's like the scenario you just used is like you said, all right, you said physical touch and sex.
Mm-hmm.
Well, words of affirmation is like words of affirmation and compliments.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I still think it's physical touch.
Yeah, I agree. But I get where you're going with the like making sex number 6. I get it. but I feel like it still should be under physical touch if we're talking about the love languages.
I think if it became its own love language, it would force people to think about sex differently. Because I know, like, sometimes
that is excellent point. I didn't.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really good right there.
I mean, that's actually profound. Like,
not
really
like
good.
sometimes I'm befuddled. Sometimes I can feel like sexually I'm too much, and I'm always afraid that I'm like too much. Like, I don't want my partner to think like, oh, she just like wants sex from me, or she just horned up all the time, or she just wants to like she just trying to do me. Like, I don't want like, I never want it to be perceived as I'm just using my partner for their body, like, because that isn't what it is. Like I said before, I don't even have to be horny, but if I'm like in love with somebody, I could just be looking at them and be like, you know, like, I just want to make you feel good. Like, that's really all it's about for me. It has nothing to do with being horny. It's just, it comes from a place of love and care. And it's like, I just need to do this like for you. It's how I show love. It's how I properly express love. And if I can't do that, then I feel like either you're
diminishing your love.
Yeah, I feel like this person either isn't feeling all the love that I could be showing them, like I could be giving them, or if they're not in the mood, and like, I can understand like not in the mood like a few times, but if you're not in the mood for a while, I'm thinking like
damn, you don't love me?
Like, why you don't love me anymore? Like, and it's like, you have to understand how people love and how they want to express that. Like, it's not about just, oh, like, I'm just trying to use you for your body, or just trying to use you for an orgasm. I can have an orgasm by myself. I don't need another person for that. But it's about the whole experience. It's about giving pleasure to somebody else. Like, it's a form of love.
I don't think we can get away from how God intended sex to be. Like we, of course, we cheated a lot. Of course we do, but it's like, to bring it to earth and to bring it to reality, it's like, if you're having sex with someone and there's not a connection, and maybe if they don't even love you, it's going to feel like a happy meal.
It brings I feel like sex is one of the few things that can actually be devalued. Well, we've devalued it so much, and that's why I like what Cheyenne said about if you give sex its own love language, you know, say like that's the sixth love language. It forces you now to look at it as a real intimate.
You know what? I changed my answer.
You know,
I see what you're saying. It's like it's like on a basketball team. It's like the sixth man.
Yeah, it's the most versatile out of all. It can be considered under all of them. But it's really its own standalone lane, because that's another way, like Cheyenne said, how people can show their love. And, you know, a lot of times people, like Alexis, I don't know if it was Alexis or Cheyenne saying, oh, you just want to use me for sex. You want to use me for your body. When in reality, if we add sex as a love language, it makes people start to look from another perspective of, well, maybe the reason why this person wants sex all the time is because they care, because that's how they show love. And, you know, it's, because we can all agree a hug and sex is two different worlds. Them is two different, like, so to say like, oh, you just want sex from me. No, it's like, that's how I show my intimacy towards you. And yes, you know, we got the hugs and all that. That's good. But sex is its own standalone thing.
Because like a Cheyenne, correct?
Yes.
Cheyenne, yeah, like, sex can be very nurturing and genuine. So if someone came at sex with like intentionality, like, all right, we about to do this, but I'm about to love you, then it would be on another level. You see what I'm saying? Yes, I changed my answer.
But I feel like if you list sex as your top love language, that means you automatically view sex different. Like, you would have to, like we said, sex had to be viewed different. So I feel like a person that just want to be like out here messing with a bunch of females, smashing whoever, smash and dash and everything.
That's the person that'll ruin it, because they'll be like, yeah, it's my love language too. No, you just want to have a lot of sex.
That's why I feel like it should just stay to the 5, Because when you say physical touch, you got to break it down. Like, why is physical touch your love language? If it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you just do sex, it could be like what you just said, like the guy, and someone's going to use that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then that goes back to the way what I said, like the girl's going to be like, oh, you know, I don't even want to talk to you because that's your top pick out of everything. Like, you don't want to tell me I'm beautiful?
But even with that, no, because if you like, even with now the current 5, your top 1, you can fully explain why your top love language is your top love language. I believe that somebody who's genuine, hold on, okay. I feel like somebody who's genuine top love language is sex. They're immediately going to be able to express and explain why it's their top, you know, why it's important to them, kind of like how me and Cheyenne did.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be like a cop out, because in a way, I feel like even now using that as an, people could say gifts is they top love language just because they're a gold digger.
It can be used to be manipulative, like somebody who has a partner that isn't like having sex with them. They could easily be like, oh, well, I feel like you don't love me because you won't have sex with me. And they're using it as a form of manipulation to get sex out of their partner instead of like communicating in a healthy way. Like,
well, I feel like everybody has, but I feel like we've all been in situations where people have used their love language in a manipulative fashion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, like people, like I said, going back, somebody like with words of affirmation is their top love language. They'll use that as a reason, like, oh, you don't need to tell me I'm pretty. Well, it's like, well, that's just not what I do. I believe you're pretty, but I'm not going to tell you this throughout the day. Or right. They try to use that to manipulate people to boost their ego and their self-esteem.
You have to figure out a way to like communicate in a healthy way if you feel like your love language isn't being communicated. Like, if you don't feel loved, you can't manipulate your partner into loving you the way that you want to be loved, or to like doing, like you said, like telling you you're pretty all day, every day. Like, both people need to feel satisfied in the relationship and feel like their love languages are being communicated. Like, if I feel like sexually I'm not being, like, my love language isn't being met sexually, I'll have to communicate that, be like, hey, are you okay lately? Like, things have been different. This has been like going like this. Usually maybe we're a little more active. Like, and I asked them, like, what's going on with you? How are you feeling? This is how I feel. How do you feel about that? Like, you have to be able to go back and forth. But to just flat out accuse somebody and be like, oh, if you really love me, you would do me 5 times a day. Like, that's when it gets manipulative, because it's like, you don't know what I got going on, how I feel about the situation. You're just over here telling me that in order for you to be happy, I need to be doing something that makes me uncomfortable. Like, you have to be able to communicate.
Mm-hmm. And I just thought of like another principle, looking back, where you say like, oh, you're sitting at a dinner table at a date and you ask what their love language is and they say sex. I feel like in a way that is, it kind of makes a relationship, it kind of makes the love language and relationships a little bit more transparent, because as it currently stands, people like going back to what Cheyenne said about manipulating you can get a read on somebody's love languages and then try to manipulate your love language to suit them. Now you guys go together just to have sex. Whereas somebody who genuinely enjoys sex or genuinely doesn't care about sex, they can actually put that as a ranking, so it lets the other person know, this is where I stand on this.
I was going to say, in that aspect, I think that's kind of smart if you guys are doing like a date thing, because if you bring that up, like Cheyenne was saying, like, if that's how someone wants to be loved, you're already telling the person from the get-go, like, this is how I love to be loved. So if that person feels uncomfortable, if that's not what they like, then I feel like they know, okay, then this is not the guy for me, or this is not the girl for me. Maybe let me find somebody else, or let them find somebody else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, transparency is so important, and people are so afraid to do it because they want to be liked so bad. Like, oh, you just date so well, so like I'm gonna lie about everything that I am, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You need to be upfront, be like, hey, this is who I am. Like, if sex is your love language, be like, hey, when I'm in love, I'm in a happy relationship, I need a lot of sex. I like to have a lot of sex. How do you feel about it? And if the other person is like, I like to have sex once a month, you know you're not compatible. Like, just let it go.
Yeah. The fact this man really raised his hand.
You want to say something so bad.
Like, you know, you can just talk, right? Like, it's like, you know, you just talk, right? We be talking over each other. This is actually the most organized one we've had, because most of the time we be talking over each other.
Towards Cheyenne, right?
Yeah.
Towards Cheyenne's point on dates, I feel like we try to give the best representation of ourselves, like on Instagram. And I noticed that if a man, like I posted this on my Instagram a few days ago, if a man is low-key kind of nervous on a date, he actually likes you. If a woman, the same thing for a woman, if a woman is kind of nervous, she actually likes you. But if there's like confidence mixed with nervousness, and then eventually y'all build a flow, like the more like y'all share, yeah, I feel like in that space, like y'all are growing connection. But I feel like if someone's just full on confident, either they don't like you, because like when like I'm an artist, I'm a designer, so when I see a beautiful woman, I view a woman like a pair of like Saint Laurent boots. You see what I'm saying? Or some like Dior boots. Like I look at it on that level, like some nice architecture. So yeah, I feel like if you're not low-key kind of nervous, you either don't like them, they only can be a friend. But if you're nervous, I feel like something can be there.
No, because I be nervous if I have to go on a date, I'll be nervous. But that does not mean I like you. But don't get.
I feel like what it is. I feel like it's opposite for women, though. I feel like I agree what you're saying, Jamie, but I feel like it's if a woman is comfortable on the date and she's not nervous, that's when she actually likes you.
Not necessarily, because the more I like you, the more nervous I am, honestly. Like, if I'm like when I was single, I was kind of just dating to like, you know, get to know people, different vibes, different restaurants. Like I was just dating. And I wasn't really nervous about it. I kind of treated everybody like friends. I felt like I was getting to know new people. I was enjoying dating because I'd just gotten out of like a 3-year relationship, and I was actually enjoying being single for the first time in my life. So I was never nervous. I was just like, oh, where are we gonna eat tonight? Like I was just having a good time. I enjoyed the texting. I enjoyed everything. And then it wasn't until like my current boyfriend and I started getting serious, I got nervous with him. Like I remember he would like spontaneously, like he popped up at my job one time to do something, and my heart was beating out of my chest. Like I couldn't explain it. I was just like, calm down, and I couldn't get myself together. And the funny thing is he used to work there, so I didn't know why I was acting like that. But I was nervous about him. And it's because I actually had feelings for him versus like other people that I had been dating prior. I was just like, oh, this is fun. You're lovely. I like your energy. Like I was kind of cool and comfortable with them.
See, I'm weird. I do all of that. I get nervous, and then eventually if I feel you out like the first 10 minutes and I'm like comfortable enough, then I'll start like being calm and being myself a little bit, but not too much. But it's not because I like them though. It's just they make me feel comfortable to be just calm in myself. At first I'm gonna be like standoffish, like, oh hi, what's up, how you doing? But that's just how I am. That's not because the nice to meet you. I would do that, but I don't think it's because I like them. But just like Cheyenne said, when you start liking them, like you care about what they think, so you start getting nervous, start getting them butterflies, like, oh, do I look good? You start getting nervous, like, oh my, I don't know. You get shy and all of that. That's because you start liking them.
Yeah, even now, like we've been together about like a year and a half now, and even now, like we'll be getting ready to get on to like go on a date, and like he'll be on his way to pick me up, and I'm nervous about like what I'm wearing, how my hair looks, like I need to get myself
See, I
together.
don't know. Yeah, that's
We
different
for a
though,
whole
because I
year.
feel like that's norm. I feel like that's norm. I feel like that's norm in anything, because it doesn't matter how many fashion shows I do, I will still get the same level of nerve for that split, even if it's for a split second. That same level of nerve. When I play ball, when I play football, the same nerves that I had my very first game in college, like when I took that field, no, not even game, the very first time I walked on Clark Atlanta's football field, that same amount of nerve that I had then is the same amount of nerve I had when I walked on Morehouse Field for my very last game. Same exact feel. And it's like, and I was confident, I was prepared, I do this all the time, this is what I do. But to me, nerves is normal. Like you can't really say that really tells somebody how much you like or love something.
No, I don't think it has to do with how much you like or love something. I think it has to do with how much something matters to you. Because like I said, like the dudes that I was just kind of casually dating, I was never nervous with them. I was excited. I was like, this is going to be fun. We're going to have a date, whatever. But the one that mattered to me, like whenever he came around, I spoke to him, we did anything, I had nerves because this mattered to me.
You think it came because you had like a preconceived idea that you didn't want anything with other guys? That's why you wasn't nervous? Like you already, like from jump, you knew?
No, when I was dating, I'm not going to say I was open to like meeting the one or whatever. I was kind of dating with no goal in mind. I was like, I'm just enjoying being single. I'm having fun. I'm focused on me. I'm finding my peace. And like, I'll make a few friends along the way. And that's kind of that was the mindset I had while I was dating. But, I never like just chalked them up like, oh, this is going to go nowhere. Like, I like the dudes that I was seeing, but I realized like my boyfriend with him, it was always different. Like when we would just hang out prior to being together, there was still like a level of comfort that came from hanging out with him. Like if I'd had a bad day, I was straight to his place. I'm like, I'm coming over. I need to chill for a bit. He was my safe space. But at the same time, if he was taking me out for a date, or like I said, if he spontaneously popped up at my job, my heart was beating out of my chest because this was the one that mattered. It wasn't just, this isn't something casual and fun and we'll see where it goes. Like this is the one I actually had feelings for.
Darian, I'm about to relate this to what she just said. When I would, and you don't know this, but now I can tell you this. So every day I would come into work.
Now be mindful, this is going on Al Gore's internet. You're still recording at this point.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Every day I would come in to Miguel's. I would be kind of nervous, confident, and intimidated a little bit. So those three emotions. So it'll be by like the things you have me doing, like I didn't have a lot of experience. You feel what I'm saying? So you just say, oh, do this, and I'll just have to like try to do it. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing with relationships. I pray, even though I can get really comfortable with someone, I think when you always have an upkeep, when you always have to strive to like do better, I think that's growth. I think you need growth in a relationship. So
I see what you're saying, because like I know, like, are you basically saying like when people get like too comfortable and it's like,
and then they get messy, and then they
get sloppy, they stop caring about appearance and all other stuff.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable. Like be real comfortable, but know that this is a continuous growing thing. So I pray to God that I'm forever a little nervous. I always want to have butterflies. You know what I'm saying? Like when we 80, I low key want to be like, I want to high key be like, you fine. Like let me still try to do some push-ups. Let me still do something. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you keep the flame. That's how you keep it sexy. Like I be seeing like I be seeing folks like they don't keep it sexy. Like they relationship be boring because I'm used to him. What happened? What happened when y'all like first saw each other on like some spontaneous shit? So
Kids in life happen.
You gotta keep it sexy. That's the key.
Gotta keep it
relationship.
Gotta keep it sexy. You know what I'm saying? So
that's when it's over.
That's when it's over. So
you're muted.
Who's muted?
Now when I was saying like having like a date night like once a month or something like that, like doing things like that to keep it just going, keeping y'all strong. Even though you have kids and crazy stuff happens on her side of the family, his side of the family, but when you guys can come back together and just have that me time with just y'all two, it like keeps the flame going. In
a way, I wish we had like some old heads, like some 50, 60-year-old people to hop on here to answer this question. Because I feel like that would be a whole different perspective.
Next podcast.
Because I feel like even going back to the original question of should sex be considered its own love language, I wonder what a 60-year-old, we've been in a relationship 40 years, like old people would say, like, would they consider sex as its own category? Or like because I know a lot of older people that come to me and I be trying to explain like my whole why sex is important to me. A lot of old heads be telling me, you gonna grow out of it. And I'm kind of like, I don't see why.
It's not that you'll grow out of it. The male sex drive goes down the older you get, whereas the woman's goes up, which is why I am concerned about the rest of my life. But that's probably what he means when he says, like, you'll grow out of it. Biologically, the male sex drive is supposed to go down the older you get. Like right now, y'all are at peak.
Quit raising your hand. Just talk. Just talk. Then you didn't talk. No, this man raises his hand.
So, okay. I got something on this. And bro, we can talk about this next podcast too, but this is some real shit. So I stopped, like it's been for like 2 years. For 2 years, I've been intentionally trying to stop looking at pornography. Because when you're making love, aside from making love, when you're interacting with a woman, it messes up your confidence, it messes up your masculinity, it messes up your sensuality, it messes up your flow because you're so used to looking at this screen that when it comes to the real thing, you really not appreciating it for real because your mind is like, it might not be for you, it might just be
I can't get along on that one because I watch porn like film study.
Yeah.
You gotta watch porn with football intents. Like, okay, so he did that. I wonder, so can I do that?
Writing down the plays.
Yeah, it's a game plan.
It's different from the real thing.
Here to here.
It's different because when I was watching porn and then when I was trying to have sex with my ex, I'm like, I'm thinking, all right, we both think it. I'm thinking about, okay, what did I think about in that episode? And then like you try to translate it and it's different. All right, so damn, I gotta like it's different, bro. Like you don't have all that experience.
It's never gonna be the exact same, but it's fun to try.
It's fun. No. You can take some principles from porn and try to use them. Like you see you can take some concepts and explore. But yeah, I'll just say that for men, like I don't look, brother, like you got your own view on it. You gonna do it.
I do agree though. Growing up, I will say this, prior to me really getting into sex and really having sex like into college and high school, like really into college, watching porn sets a terrible standard of how sex is supposed to go. Because when you watch porn, they're doing a bunch of stuff and I'm just like, and then you actually have sex and be like, bruh. Like, I remember when I first found out from a female that she's like, that hurts. And I used to really think that like, oh, it's you're just tripping and everything. Then I really studied like women anatomy and everything. I was like, oh, that porn stuff really don't be happening like that. Like,
not the clap, not the thumbs up.
Like in porn, they make it seem like, oh, you just be in there just. And then it took for me to really deal with like regular females to tell me like, hey, that's not how it's supposed to go. You're hitting my cervix. That hurts.
And dudes will do that, and then when they be like, "Ow," they'll be like, "Ah, you just sensitive." Like, no, get off me.
You running away? Why you running?
Unhand me.
Unhand me.
Why you running away?
She get up all disheveled.
Like, oh my god! Like,
Unhand me.
Even like oral sex stuff, like in porn, it make it seem like just like the coolest thing ever. You know, to just keep eating the box. And I had a female actually tell me, he's like, it gets sensitive to the point it hurts.
It does. Like,
like, get from down there. Stop.
Unhand me.
But it goes the other way even for women too, because women be like, oh, when he nut, you're supposed to keep sucking. No, stop! If I punch you, stop! If I punch you, that hurts.
I'm screaming.
Okay, see, now you know how she feel, and she knows.
Hey, y'all, so let's
It's
put it to a vote. Let's get up out of
funny.
here. Hold on, we got to log out, get out of here. We've been here for a little bit of time. We reached our time. So let's put it to a final vote. I'm going to start with Jamie. Do you believe after, we made this, discussion, this debate, really discussion, do you believe that sex should be considered as its own sixth love language?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alexis?
Yes.
I say no. Let's say keep it to the 5.
Okay. Cheyenne?
I've been persuaded to yes.
Ooh. Ooh, Cheyenne, I thought we was.
I did it.
It's my love language.
But you know why? But that's your love. That would be your love language.
It's my actual love language.
Right.
I feel like the best argument that was made for it is if we make sex its sixth love language, it now makes you reevaluate sex.
Yeah.
I feel like that point right there it solidified the sex should be its own love language. Yeah. That accompanied with what Alexis said, somebody whose big thing is physical touch may also not enjoy sex. They just want the actual just physical hold my hand. When you add those two principles together, sex really should be its own thing.
Jamie just got all the emojis. Like,
I would say this man is going crazy with the emojis. But this has been another edition of LUXE Argue presented by MLP Studios. I want to thank the incredible LuxeMob Panel for coming through this time. I'm gonna make sure you guys follow all their Instagrams in the description. I'm trying to get back in the schedule of doing this once a week, every Thursday. Like I said, just going through a lot with this whole move, going back to Vegas. But uploading will just come when it comes. I'm not gonna lie to you. MLP Studios. Modern Luxuries Podcast. I'm changing up the format. We're gonna come back, and it's gonna be every other week. But just continue to support. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you believe that sex should be its own love language. But I'm your host, Darion. This is the LuxeMob, and we out.
peace.